Hi there folks, welcome to RRTV's live coverage of the Porsche Carrera Cup 2018, coming to you live tonight at Phillip Island for round 3, and we've got another sprint race ahead of us tonight. But before we get into all that, your commentary team tonight is myself, Bernie Wiemers, and Adam Briggs is in the com box with us tonight. Welcome Adam, it's going to be another fun night of motorsport.
Phillip Island, Porsches, what a great combination. I love the car, I love the track. I'm really excited for tonight, Bernie.
Yeah, so am I. I always love the Porsches, and I tell you what, we've got a bumper field out there at the moment, folks. There's 2 rooms of qualifying going on, but in the room we're in, to cover it off, we have a total of 28 Porsche Carrera Cup drivers contending for places. I think in the other room we've got about another 10 or 12, so we might get up to about 40 Porsches here tonight.
Almost capacity field. What a bumper turnout. Some really great names in this field as well, Bernie.
Oh yeah, we've got some really big names out there, haven't we? We've got, just having a look at them, Forza Nabi at the moment, he's on provisional pole with a 129.946. He's the only guy in the 129s at the moment. Then Scott Lanark, very close behind him, 0.3 of a second. Another big name out there is, of course, Michael Hammond, and Thomas Hinz is a few others.
Yeah, Jason Hyde included. It's going to be some close racing. These guys all love to race hard but fair. And of course the fast Phillip Island layout has got a great number of under-braking passing opportunities as well.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic to see how these guys go. But let's bring up our race organiser for a quick chat. That's Jordan McDonnell. He's the man behind this great series. So we'll bring him up and have a bit of a chat with him. Hi Jordan, welcome to the RRTV Combox, mate. Congratulations on the turnout tonight. From our reckoning, you've probably got about 39 possible Porsche contenders here tonight.
Yeah, hello Bernie. Hey Adam, how's it going? Yeah, it's going good so far. We've been getting good turnouts. I thought it would be a little bit more tonight due to the fact that it's a home icon. But yeah, having 39 Porsches is great. You know, like the cars are so even, and it only really comes down to setup and driving. So it makes it great racing, and they're definitely a fun car to drive.
Yeah, they definitely look like a lot of fun. This is the first time we've had a chance to catch up with you, but basically over the first 2 rounds, what's your opinion on the driving standards and the level of competition that the boys have been exhibiting here?
I think competition-wise, it's been pretty good, to be honest. There's obviously, you've got the guys that run these cars and the V8s and whatnot, and they're another level, I suppose, as you call it. You know, likes of Scott Larnack, Cameron Dance, Josh Anderson, and all these guys that are competing tonight as well. And then you've got like the mid-pack guys, which are pretty confident in the car, getting new to it, all that kind of stuff. And then you've got the guys that run down the back, but they all produce such good racing. There's been a few incidents that we've had to deal with, but all in all, everyone's been pretty good and apologise for incidents that have happened on track, and we're really happy with how it's all going.
Oh, fantastic. And I noticed in practice you're like 5th fastest out there. Are we going to see you behind the wheel tonight?
Nah, mate. I thought I'd have a skid. I haven't been on the sim for a week, so I was a wee bit rusty, but my optimal would have put me, I think, 2nd, so I was trying to do that, but I just kept making mistakes. So, nah, not for me. I'd rather admin the series and make sure everything goes well than sacrifice that and allow myself the race. It's not at my most. I'd rather admin the series. I'm getting tongue twisted here.
Yeah, no worries. But next week, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's the first of the Enduros for this series. 1 hour Enduro, I think it is.
Yeah, I'm not sure on what track it is off the top of my head. I haven't got the schedule in front of me, but there is definitely an hour Enduro as the next round. I believe it could be Bathurst. I'm not 100% sure, but it's definitely an Enduro, which is, I think, going to twist things up because these guys have been getting used to the half-an-hour races. And, you know, doing an extra half an hour in a car that's already quite on edge, especially if it's around Bathurst, is just a whole nother level, you know?
Yeah, it certainly is. It's going to separate the men from the boys, as they say. But, you know, everyone loves Bathurst, whether they put it in the wall first corner or not. You know, it's just an iconic track. But I guess, have you got any more openings in this series? And if you do, how would any potential drivers find you?
Yeah, we do. The series is open all season. So obviously, so far we've got 115 registered drivers. Not all of them can make every night. So we roughly get around 40 at the moment. But yeah, if anyone wants to join, it's open to anyone, no matter your skill level. If you're new to the Porsche, if you're not, if you're elite or not, doesn't matter. We take them all in. So if you guys want to register, you just got to go onto the iRacing forums. It'll be under the Australian and New Zealand leagues, I believe, or road racing leagues. And yeah, you just sign up on the forums, follow all the instructions that are there for your iRacing ID and registering the team, and then all you got to do is apply to the league and come racing on Friday.
Fantastic. So viewers, if any of you want to give this great series a crack, go and check out the link. But of course, this series wouldn't be possible without a few of your series sponsors, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I'd like to have a big thanks to Jamie from I think I'm lagging. Yeah, Jamie from West End Mazda. He's a great help to the community, puts in a lot of effort behind the scenes that people don't really see, and forever grateful for all the stuff that he's helped me out with the series and whatnot. And you, Bernie, for doing the broadcasting. I know behind the scenes it was a lot of work and stress getting it all sorted out, but once again, big thanks to you guys for making this possible.
No worries. We've really been enjoying bringing this series to the viewers, so all the stress has been worth it, I think. But before we let you go, Jordan, is there anything else you want to mention to the viewers while we've got you up here?
I think the viewers need to get out there and have a crack, to be honest. It'd be good to see some, two split servers racing. You can't broadcast two splits, but you could definitely still compete and not miss out on the action. If anyone else has got Facebook and also wants to see the updates or cool videos and stuff that go up, definitely go check out our Facebook page. It's just Porsche Carrera Cup Australia, not the real life one, but yeah, the sim one. So if you've got Facebook, you want to check it out, go give that a like and stay up to date. We also just announced our group that we've got, so if you're stuck on the Porsche or you want to set up help or whatever and you want to compete, join the group, and I'm sure some guys in there will be able to help you out.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for popping in, Jordan, and I guess you're going to get busy soon, because after qualifying, my guess is you're going to set up another race server, and we'll switch to that.
Yep, that's the plan. And yeah, thanks for the interview, and see you guys later. Cheers.
See you, buddy. So, folks, that was Jordan McDonnell. He's the man behind this great series. So, Adam, while that was going on, we've got Shannon Mason currently in 5th on his flying lap with 4 minutes 50 of qualifying to go. His best time, a 1:39.95, and he can move up if he's just 0.08 of a second quicker. He'll knock Jason Hyde off that 4th position.
And remarkably, Michael Hammond is only a further 0.12 of a second further up the road again. So the three of them are so incredibly close. We're only talking about a corner entry or a corner exit between them.
Yeah, well, we're going to find out how they're going now, because Shannon Mason's now coming on to the final straight here at Phillip Island. He's got it loose into the wall big time. That's going to put an end to his qualifying.
Yeah, that would definitely be an aborted lap. You'll probably have another crack, and I'd be having a red-hot go considering how close the two cars are in front of him, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly right. How frustrating that must be for a driver. He had a pretty clean lap, but to bin it on the last corner of that flying lap.
That exit curb for Phillip Island is very difficult to negotiate when you're really pushing hard. It can catch a few people out. We'll probably see it tonight during the race, I'm sure.
Oh, I think we'll see it a fair bit, but these cars, they're a beautiful car, but they're a fairly complex car to drive. That's for sure.
They're definitely an acquired taste. I actually personally really enjoy driving them. They feel very alive to me when they're driving. You have to stop them in the right way, turn them in the right way. I actually think they're a fantastic car to drive, but yeah, they are definitely a acquired taste, that's for sure.
Yeah, they certainly are. I actually really enjoy driving them when I get the chance. When I first jumped into one of these cars, I was blown away by the feedback they provided, and it came out, of course, with the new tyre model at the time, and that also blew me away, was just how responsive it was compared to the older tyre model cars.
Yeah, they're very progressive. You can feel them starting to go, and they talk to you a lot. It sounds a bit strange, but they're a really nice car to experience on the iRacing simulator.
Yeah, they certainly are, and we've got out at the moment. All the top guns are out. Thomas Hinz has just come out. He's sitting in 7th at the moment, folks, with the 1:31.144. We've also got Richard Skender. He's coming through now to finish his flying lap. We'll see if he improves. 6th position, 1:31.090 is his best time, and he's run off, so that's not going to count. Is he going to get the wall? No, he's not. Might have to start calling that the Wall of Champions, I think.
The Australian version, yeah. There's been a few that have had an off straight into that wall. Yeah, that exit curb's going to get a few people. It's going to be a place of action, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think it will be a definite place of action. The way it's going to work tonight, folks, as far as the race goes, 30-minute time certain race. The way they'll be doing it is they have one fast repair, 15 incident points, and it's going to be on, so it should be a lot of fun. As we can see now, Fawzan El Nabi coming through to complete his flying lap. Minute 15 to go. Well, you know, he's got provisional pole. Only man in the 1:29s. The question is, Adam, can he actually better that time?
He's been a formidable force. Absolute. In practice session, he was fastest as well, with almost an identical time. He's just come across it well. A bit of an opening lap there. Not a huge pace at a 1:34.
Yeah, he was well off, wasn't he? 5 seconds off his best time there. Scott Lanark now, he's coming through to complete his flying lap. 41 seconds left on the clock. Question is now, can he get in the 1:29s? And if he can he snatch pole at the last second? But I'll tell you what, he's got to get 0.3 of a second. Doesn't sound like much, but it can be a country mile as he comes across the line. 1:33.912. Doesn't look like he's improved either.
The important thing, he has started the lap before the counter has counted down, so he could still complete this lap yet. So more action to come, I'm sure.
Yeah, that'll be. We'll come back to them shortly, because Michael Hammond, currently 3rd, he's coming through now to complete his lap in the laser racing plumbing and electrical entry. We'll see what he can do. 1:39.04. He's got a long way to go if he wants to get on the front row here tonight.
Been doing a lot of GT3 and Porsche racing lately, so let's see what he does.
Here he comes across the line now, and he does a 1:31.089. One of the faster times we've seen out there, but still not good enough.
Yeah, he had a red hot go, not quite enough to move up a position, unfortunately.
Yeah, so who else we've got out there? Richard Skender's in the pits at the moment. JC Richards is also in the pits. I think we've got Luke Lucas out here completing his best time was a 1:32.047, and once again he's run off. Tell you what, Adam, these guys are right on the edge trying to qualify these cars at the moment.
I've always found with the Porsche that if you drive it at 95%, it actually rewards you. These guys are obviously pushing hard. They're giving it 110%, and unfortunately, that can happen with the Porsche.
Yeah, well, that's right. It's one of those fine lines, isn't it, like anything? But qualifying's pretty much finished at the moment. But the top 10 of the qualifying, it looks like Farzan El Nabi, he's got the top time here in this room. Does not mean he's got pole position. He set a time 1:29.946. Scott Lanark second fastest in this session, 1:30.172. Michael Hammond third. He set a time of a 1:39.04. Jason Hyde fifth. And then we've got Shannon Mason fifth. Richard Ken Skender sixth. Thomas Hinn seventh, eighth, JC Richards, ninth, James E. Foster, and rounding out our top 10 of this session is Griffin Gardner. Now, basically, folks, what's going to happen is the server qualifying sessions are going to finish, and then Jordan gets busy at them, and he's got to bring all the times together to form the grid tonight.
I'm sure you'll have the spreadsheet out, working it all out. It's a marvellous job Jordan does. In fact, adminning any particular race series is always hard. You've got to put it out to them for putting in the time and effort to organise a series like this.
Yeah, there's a heck of a lot of hours go behind the scenes in these series, getting them running smoothly week to week. Not only that, but they've got a really professional rule book and everything written up just for this series. So, yeah, hats off to all the guys behind this great series. And I think it's in its third season of running now, so that's pretty exciting as well.
Having longevity like that is fantastic, Bernie. They've obviously, got a lot of support from the community, and that's fantastic.
Yeah, and the grids are just getting bigger and bigger. But let's go through the point score while we're waiting, folks, for that server to be organised. Coming into this round, Scott Lanark, he's leading on 92 points. Michael Healy sitting in second on 91. I didn't see Michael out there tonight. Cameron Dance sitting in third position on 86. Again, I did not see Cameron in this room. Shannon Mason sitting in fourth at the moment on 74 points, and he's just 3 points ahead of Tom Curran in fifth on 71. In sixth, we've got Thomas Hinns on 69 points, John O. Freeman on 68, Richard Skender, he's in eighth on 67. Then we've got Abirafti Radicha Putra on 61 in ninth, and Darren McKenzie rounds out our top 10 on points on 57 points. So from those top 5 or top 10, I can see Shannon Mason at the moment. He's qualified in fifth in this room, and Scott Lanark, he's qualified second in this room. But I guess, the people that are going to start stealing points will be people like Farzan El Nabi, Michael Hammond. Those sort of guys could find themselves knocking on the door of the top 10 at the end of tonight.
Yeah, most certainly. Both those competitors are very regular league racers. They definitely know how to score points and accumulate points over the course of the season. So they'll be in that top 10 before too long, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's right. I'm just having a look at our chat channel. I'll ask what they want because I don't understand that last comment. But if you're watching, Riley, just let us know in the comments what you meant, what you want us to do, and I'll definitely do it. But let's have a look at the race information, and this could change. We'll cover it off again once we change servers. But I tell you what, qualifying was darn hot out there tonight, 40 degrees Celsius or 104 degrees Fahrenheit, partly cloudy. So I tell you what, Phillip Island is putting on the heat tonight, and I'm not surprised because I think they've had a bit of a heat wave down Victoria and South Australia way.
I think the whole east coast of Australia has had a very large sunbaking over the last 4 days. It's very hot, typical summer weather, which is both good and taxing at the same time.
Yeah, exactly right. I know my daughter wants to go bushwalking tomorrow, and it's going to be 31 here, so that's going to be good times. Just having a look at see, folks, when our server comes up, we will be jumping straight over to it. But, let's go and have a look. Dearie me. Okay, just swapping windows there. Sorry, folks. Looking at our calendar coming ahead here. So let's have a look at that. And tonight we're around 3 Phillip Island, and 23rd of February, that's next week, we're going to Road Atlanta. It's the first of the Enduros for this series, and as Jordan said earlier tonight, it's a 1 hour Enduro, and these guys are used to the sprint races, and next week they're going to do their first Enduro, so that's going to be interesting to see how the guys go with that.
1 hour races, probably, I imagine, one pit stop. They might take tyres over the course of 1 hour, maybe. But yeah, endurance races are always great to watch.
Yeah, it certainly is, and it'll be fun to see how these guys go, because the past couple of rounds have been very exciting for this series. Quite eventful compared to the V8 supercars, but a lot of fun to watch, a lot of action.
They're a very nimble car, but limited to no driver aids. They don't have traction control or ABS or anything like that. So
yeah, a lot of people say they're pretty close to V8 supercar to a certain degree. They're not the same. V8 supercars are far harder to drive, but some people say if you train in one of these, it's an easier step into the supercars. But it looks to me like the server may have just come up here, Adam.
yep, it's just come up for me as well. So just having a go, trying to launch into it now, and we'll be underway in no time.
Fantastic. Well, folks, we're going to go to a very quick break here at RRTV while we set that server up. When we come back, we will have round 3 of the Porsche Carrera Cup here at Phillip Island. Hi there folks, welcome back to the Porsche Carrera Cup, and I hope you're as excited as we are for this race. As you can see, the guys are out there practicing at the moment, and we're going to be going into a 30-minute time certain sprint round very shortly. So I'll tell you what, looking at our practice standings at the moment, Joshua Anderson, we didn't see him in the room. He's got the fastest time with a 1:34.608. Also got Scotty Harris there, second fastest in practice. Then Forzan El Nabi here at Adam, he's third fastest. And Chris Dawson, James E. Foster, fifth fastest.
Yep, a lot of outlaps there. I suspect the times will go down. We still have another 3.5 minutes left in warm-up. So we should see 1 or 2 flying laps as Richard Skender and Joshua Anderson go to the top of the timesheet.
Yeah, and looking deeper in the field, we've got Sam DeVentia out here in the Laser Plumbing and Electrical sponsored Porsche. He's sitting in 17th at the moment. His fastest time, well, he's coming through to set his first time now, so we'll stay with him and see how he goes and see if we can get this into the top 10.
Yeah, these guys will just be doing a system check, make sure their race setups are bang on the money. In these cars, usually when you put the fuel in them, you have to adjust ride heights and things like that. So these guys will just be making sure that their race setups are all tuned up, ready to rumble. Yeah,
exactly right. The race times really, apart from bragging rights, doesn't mean much. They're all probably in their race trim, I would say, and just, you know, working out, as you said, the balance of these cars getting ready for this race. But looking at the amount of laps we can expect here, 30 minutes. Here we go. Probably, what, about 24 laps, maybe 22?
Yeah, 22, it would be, 22, 24, something like that. It obviously depends on the pace of the race at the front. If our poleman, Forzan El Nabi, can keep in the low 130s, that'll hustle things along quite nicely.
Yeah, I'm just having a look out there. A few other names out there. We've got Dylan Shepherd at the moment, 24th fastest, but, you know, we'll see where these guys are going to be on the grid very shortly. And how long have we got till the end of qualifying? Because we might start going through that grid now.
About 70 seconds.
Okay, we'll have to wait until then we can actually see the grid. At the moment, folks, the telemetry doesn't show me the grid. But let's have a look at the weather anyway, and we'll see if it's changed at all. Well, no, it hasn't. It's still 40 degrees out there, 104 degrees Fahrenheit, partly cloudy. So these guys are definitely going to need to have their cool suits on tonight.
Yeah, all the window vents are in tonight, Bernie. That's for sure.
Yeah, we just saw there Dylan Shepherd getting it all kinds of wrong there, straight into the fence. And fortunately for him, this is a simulation, and he gets a shiny new car to go back out in again.
You wouldn't want to do that in real life. There'd be quite a number of tens of thousands of dollars there, I think. An interesting thing, he's just gone out the short chute. Race control was adamant in their briefing this morning that anyone who did need to pit had to use the long pit exit. We don't expect people to pit, but if they do, they've got to use the long pit exit.
Yeah, Phillip Island's quite unique like that, isn't it? That you can't really select which exit is in play on this track. And if you could, well, you just get cones down the side, but you don't get any of that here. But it looks like our practice, folks, has finished. So let's go through the full race grid so you can see where your favourite driver will be starting tonight. So Forzan El Nabi, he's going to start from pole. He's joined on the front row by Joshua Anderson. Scott Lanark, he'll start in the second row with Michael Healy starting next to him. Third row tonight, Tom Curran and Dylan Shepherd. Starting out of seventh, we have Cameron Dance. Connor McCluskey-Young is in 8th. Tommy Harradine will start out of 9th with Michael Hammond 10th. Shannon Mason, he'll start in 11th, and he's joined on the grid with Richard Skender. Oh my goodness, I get so flustered. Let's go back to this, folks. Thomas Hinds, he's going to start out of 13th with Zach Radatz starting in 14th. JC Richards will start in 15th, and James E. Foster out of 16th. Out of 17th tonight is Griffin Gardner, and Scotty Harris will start out of 18th position. Richard Brookfield 19th, and rounding out your top 20 is Brendan Hack. I wish we had more time. So anyway, green light here at Phillip Island, folks. Sorry about that. We will cover the rest of the field shortly, but we are underway and racing here tonight at Phillip Island, Adam.
Yep, and there's, well, 3 wide into turn 1 in places there, although Forza El Nabi has broken a little bit of a gap out there in front.
Yeah, and it's a nice clean start at the back of the field here as they all come through turn 2 here. We've got one car off, and he's trying to rejoin now. There's 2 cars off on the outfield. Another car looks like might have spun on the infield, but looks like it's a clean start here.
Yeah, it was just Tommy Harradine got squeezed going through turn 2. He's just also had a little bit of an off in turn 4 there as well now, just trying to rejoin the field.
Yeah, and Tommy's now down to 27th position, so I tell you what, and another eventful start, but fortunately all drivers are through so far on lap 1, but it's all Forza El Nabi leading Joshua Anderson. Joshua now coming under pressure, Scott Lanark, but look at that dive. That was Dylan Shepherd up into 3rd position. He dislodged Scott Lanark there. Great pass.
Starting from 6th, he's really made a hustle on this first lap. He's up 3 positions. Obviously, he's going to try and get the toe of the gentleman in front, and which would be Scott Lanark, I think. No, sorry, my apologies. That's Joshua Anderson. He'll want to close in on 2nd place really quickly.
Yeah, so as they go through the first lap here, better change that. Your top 10 is Forza El Nabi. He's leading already out by 1 second over Joshua Anderson. Dylan Shepherd 3rd, Scott Lanark 4th, 5th Michael Healy, 6th Cameron Dance, Tom Curran 7th, Shannon Mason 8th, Connor McCluskey-Young 9th, Michael Hammond rounds out your top 10.
Absolutely startling pace on the opening lap from Forza El Nabi. You pull out a complete second. Dylan Shepherd up 3 spots. Another mover and shaker, it was also Shannon Mason. He also made up 3 spots as well from his starting position, now in 8th.
And further back here, there's an awesome battle going on between 15th and 16th. That's Brendan Hack. He's coming under pressure here, folks, by Scotty Harris. And right behind them, we have James Foster, Jono Freeman going at it. And tell you what, they were nearly 2 wide back there.
Massive mover and shaker, Jono Freeman. He's up a massive 8 positions here on lap 2 from his starting position. So he's absolutely carving his way through the field here at the moment on a charge.
He certainly is, and he's getting a bit of a gap out there as well. Looking further down the field, we've got the last person running is Matthew Belton at the moment, down 9 positions. This car actually had to come in and take a pit stop, so no doubt damage caused in lap 1.
Yeah, he's opted for his fast repair there, so obviously we can track his progress during the race, but that's going to hamper him quite substantially through the course of the next 26 minutes or so.
Yeah, it certainly is, and once you have unscheduled pit stops for these short races, it's pretty much just a recovery drive from there. But at the moment, Scott Lanark, he's having a look at him now. He's in the 1-1-12. He's actually starting to put the pressure back on Dylan Shepherd here.
Scott will be keen to get his position back. He lost on the opening lap, so he's having a big look at Dylan, very, very close to the rear bumper.
Yeah, as they come across the top here at Lukey Heights, what's he going to do? He's thinking about it, tucks back in, back end sort of wiggled a bit, but we've got Michael Healy right behind him at the moment. Then Cameron Dance. Great battle pack going on here. Looking further down the field from 11th to 20th at the moment, folks. We'll cover them off now. We have Richard Skender in 11th. 12th is JC Richards. Michael Hammond, 13th. Scotty Harris, 14th. 15th is James E. Foster. 16th, Richard Brookfield. 17th, Brendan Hack. 18th, Tommy Harradine. And rounding out 19th, Luke Lucas. Rounding out your top 20 is Kirk Hewitt.
They're all so close, Bernie. They're all within a second here, half a second there. That they're really still bunched up together, fighting hard.
Yeah, they certainly are. And I'll tell you what, Joshua Anderson's now closing in on our race leader, Forza Elnabi here. We'll see what Josh can do. Of course, these two qualified in different rooms, so this is the first time both drivers know exactly what their competitors have here.
Last time, or a couple of laps ago, Josh W. Anderson actually did the fastest lap of the race in race trim. A 1:29.9 is an absolutely fantastic lap on race fuel. Some 4/10 faster than what Forza Elnabi has managed to do so far during the race.
It was fantastic lap time, wasn't it? And at the moment also Scott Lanark, he is all over the back of Dylan Shepherd here, and he's looking hungry.
We'll see if he can get a run onto the main straight here, if he can get in the toe, get a good run off the last turn here. He might have a big look into turn one.
Yeah, he's into the toe now. We're actually riding with him here, folks. Look at the speed he's doing. 276 kilometres an hour. Shows the nose and isn't game to throw it in there. I tell you what, Adam, I wouldn't be game to do that either.
Might not have a choice if he gets held up for much longer. The front two are just skipping away a little bit at the moment. And that'll be in Scott's mind. He'll want to clear Dylan Shepherd. He'll want to be part of the fight for the lead, that's for sure.
Yeah, he needs to clear, and let's see if he's going to go down the inside here. No, Dylan's forcing him to the outside, too wide through here, and good defensive driving there by Dylan Shepherd.
He's starting to bring Cameron Dance into it as well. He's just lurking in the background there, and if this little battle continues between Dylan Shepherd and Scott Lanark, it'll bring Cameron Dance right into this.
Yeah, and Scott Lanark knows that he's flashing the lights. He's telling Dylan to get out of his way. A bit of showmanship going on there, because of course Dylan won't be phased one bit by that.
Could be a bit of a team play here, because obviously Dylan Shepherd and Joshua Anderson obviously look to be within the same team. So I wonder if Dylan's thinking, well, hang on, I can probably help my teammate here. Maybe I'll make it really difficult for Dylan.
Yeah, well, there definitely could be a bit of that being played out at the moment. And as we keep an eye on this battle, folks, looking further in the field, a couple of guys in a bit of trouble out there. The 210 of Matthew Belton, as we see Scott Lanark on the inside now. We'll come back to that, too wide into turn two. Is Dylan going to hold him? He should. What's Scott going to do? Over, under? What do you think, Adam?
Yeah, he's going to have a massive run coming into the hairpin. Whether he can actually use it or not, it's going to be another thing. And he's got Cameron Dance right there, so he can't really make a mistake at all.
No, coming out of Southern Loop there. Did you catch the... here he goes again. He's going to lose it this time. And around he goes. I was about to say, did you see how much on the edge he was with that rear end? He was sliding it through the Southern Loop that last lap.
Yeah, he's obviously got a bit frustrated in behind Dylan there and made a bit of a mistake. He's got the pace, so I'm sure he'll make his way back up through the field. That's a shame. That was a good battle. I would have loved to have seen it progress into a passing manoeuvre, that's for sure.
Definitely, and just having a look down here, at the moment Sam Deventia sitting in 26th position. He's one of the biggest movers of this field. He's up 12 positions from where he started. Behind him he's got Will Barrington. Will's flashing his headlights, but he's nowhere close enough to really make a move there.
I think some guys just love pressing the button. But no, massive progress there. 14 positions for the laser entry, that's for sure. that's an absolute fantastic effort there from Sam.
Yeah, it certainly is, and he's moving forwards, that's for sure. Will Barrington there just gets it a bit sideways. He's coming under pressure from Stephen Apps. Stephen's in 27th. Oh, sorry, no, we'll go back. Jeffrey Price is battling it out here with Will Barrington, and we'll see what Jeffrey can do as we come down the end of Gardner Straight here. He's on the outside too wide here. It's going to be interesting. Sorry.
I don't think I've seen a pass around the outside into turn one. I think Stephen Apps was very kind to him then, I think, actually.
Yeah, I think so. It looked like an easy pass, but meanwhile, out front, folks, we've got Forznell Nabi. He's pulled 0.8 of a second over Josh Anderson, but check out the gap. Dylan Shepherd at the moment, he's 4.4 seconds down from the leader, so they've totally lost touch here. 1 second up on Cameron Dance. Then we've got Connor McCluskey-Young. He's under a lot of pressure now from Scott Lanark. Scott's going to want to get past him, won't he, after that spin last lap. Let's have a look at the body language of Scott's car here, Adam, and tell me what you think's going on with it when he comes down through Southern Loop.
I'll get him I might see it from the blimp perspective or the chopper perspective better, so I'll just get that on my screen. It's pretty easy to heat the tyres up on these cars. They don't like superheated tyres, so, oh yeah, big four-wheel drift through the first part of the Southern Loop there, and he's having to be really gentle on the throttle application on the way out as well.
Yeah, it's looking really loose, isn't it? And it's been like that since the start of the race, so maybe he just doesn't have that set up quite right, but saying that, it seems pretty quick.
Loose can be fast in these cars, but at the cost of consistency sometimes.
Yeah, if you're really on top of it, loose can be fast, but it can also be absolutely deadly if you don't get your head around it. So we just saw there Michael Hammond locking up a wheel as he was coming down, where are we now? Just coming through Siberia up towards Lukey Heights.
This battle pack, 3 cars here, Richard Skender, Scotty Harris. Yeah, I didn't quite know what to say. I saw that happening. Yeah, definitely a bit of a loose move there from Mr. Harris. It looks like he's probably going to readdress it now as well.
Yeah, we're going to have a look at that from the outside. The cameraman wasn't quite quick enough. We saw him take a dive in there, and it was quite a sloppy move, really, wasn't it? Once you get on the grass, so nowhere to go, straight into the side of Michael Hammond there. Michael's got a lot of damage. I don't know if a redress is going to help undo all that right fender damage.
Yeah, Michael's actually taken to the pits for his fast repair, so that'll severely dent his race, I imagine. Yeah, definitely a bit of a loose move there from Scott. Once you get in the grass, you totally lose control of your vehicle, unfortunately.
Yeah, and while we're looking at that, Michael's just used the 1.1. As he comes back out, he will rejoin in 26, just ahead of Mick Wilson. The other cars, as we were saying, in trouble out there. Matthew Belton, he's also had to bring the WP Concreting Porsche in for service. Cameron Kendall, that car was towed back to the pits. So was Zach Radatz's car. A couple of the guys that have retired, well, Jono Freeman in the 117, we saw he was very quick in qualifying. He's stepped out of that car, and we're not sure why, but he's no longer participating. The other car driver that did not take to the grid was Brodie Whitmore. I'm not sure if he's actually helping race control out or not, but he did not start the race.
Yeah, big shame, Jono Freeman. He looked pretty quick. I think he even had a pretty good opening lap as well, if I remember correctly. So that'd be pretty disappointing, I reckon. Yeah,
I'd say it would be. I'm not sure what happened to him, but there didn't seem to be any big wrecks in the first lap or so that we saw anyway.
Yeah, none that I noticed, unfortunately, Bernie. So I'm not sure where that's happened. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so looking at our top 10 now, folks, Forza Nabi, Joshua Anderson, they continue battling while that lead stretches to 4.9 seconds in front of Dylan Shepherd. 1.4 seconds behind him in fourth is Cameron Dance. Scott Lanark, we've got him on screen. He's trying to get back onto these guys, but I tell you what, he is 3.5 seconds down from Cameron. Connor McCluskey-Young 6th, 7th, Michael Healy 8th, Thomas Hinds. Jump back to them because they're having a good battle by the looks of it. And Shannon Mason also nearly into this battle pack. And Tom Curran, he rounds out our top 10.
The bottom half of that top 10 is actually really densely packed there, actually. So that'll be probably where a lot of the action happens over the next 10 laps or so. Bit of progress from Scott Larnock. He's cleared at least Connor McCluskey-Young and potentially Michael Healy as well. So, yeah, he's definitely making some progress. I don't know if it's going to be enough to get back onto the back of Dylan Shepherd and Cameron Dance, however.
Okay, we've just had a bit of news from Jono Freeman. Basically, he had a power surge at home from a thunderstorm, and it's knocked out his computer. So that's where he disappeared to. So bad luck. As long as the power surge protector protected his gear, all's not too bad.
Still a pretty disappointing way to end a race. Lucky though, it was a sprint race. I've heard of people having that in 4 and 12-hour races, and that's pretty devastating as well. But yeah, no real consolation for that one, unfortunately.
No, that's right, and we seem to be seeing these sort of things crop up in each event. Either blackouts or hardware failure, or we've even had cases where monitors have gone blank and drivers are just driven straight on.
Yeah, probably one of the more famous ones I remember, Bernie, is from my team, is the wheel came off his actual rig. It wiggled loose in the middle of the Bathurst 12-hour we did recently. So it can happen, and it's very unfortunate.
Okay. And who was that?
Daniel Misdale. We were in the 12-hour race, and his G25 decided to part ways with his desk, unfortunately.
Wow, that's no good at all. We did have a similar thing happen to Reece Gardner. I think it was in one of the Lemoore endurance races. His wheel actually unscrewed or something and fell off.
Yeah, it's a pretty devastating way. He did manage to drive it back to the pits with the wheel and everything in his lap, which I think is the most impressive part, actually.
That's very impressive. And I bet you he was feeling the pressure as well at the time.
Well, it happened just after Forest Elbow, so he only had Conrod, but yeah, he was. There was many expletives, unfortunately.
Sorry, folks, that's just me typing crazily. It's 12 minutes of racing to go, would you believe, here, Adam? And this race is it's going off like a rocket, one could say.
It's actually really hard to keep up with at the moment, but the battle for the lead has closed right into a 3/10 battle between Forza Nabi and Joshua Anderson. They've really pulled back together. And Joshua is trying very hard to make a move at the moment, actually.
Yeah, he's using everything he can at the moment, isn't he? Trying to outsight Forzen, but these two have battled many a time, and they'd be used to how each of them drive. They'd know their strengths and their weaknesses, so it'll be interesting to see. If you're wondering, folks, this is lap 12 at the moment. I predicted about 22 laps, and not going to get anywhere near there. The fastest lap of the night is Josh Anderson, with a 1:29.920. What's happened to Forzen?
Yes, big news, big massive news. He's I'm not sure what's happened there, but I've had a blip. He's blinked on me, unfortunately, and I haven't actually caught the action. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm just having a look at the replay now. see if we can work it out. He was leading, and all of a sudden he just wasn't there anymore. Yeah, he's just blipped out. He's just had one of the server blips, and that's sent him off the track, would you believe?
That's so unusual. He's such a consistent driver that it would be only for server blips like that situation could occur. He's just got to regather now and salvage what he can with the 9 minutes remaining.
Yeah, well, that's put him all the way down to 5th position behind Scott Lanark now. So, that's devastating news for our race leader. He basically led every single lap of the race up until then. It looked like he was in fairly good control, but all of a sudden, Josh Anderson thrown in the box seat with 9 minutes to go. And Dylan Shepherd 6.2 seconds behind. So, Adam, all of a sudden, the pressure on Josh has just fallen away, and he's just got a 6.2 second gap. He can pretty much manage that.
Yeah, I'm sure he can. It's probably robbed us of a great battle to the finish, which is somewhat disappointing. I mean, I always love a Porsche race regardless, but yeah, it stole from us a great finish to the race, I think.
Yeah, Forzen's off again. Would you believe? Same corner. He blinked coming out of it. It spun and he went off the infield. What's he going to do? He's in the pits now. I think he's probably going to get out of it. And if you could in sim racing, you'd probably throw his helmet at the car.
Well, if he's not throwing his helmet at the car, he's probably having a stern talking to his modem and router, I think, maybe. But that's devastating. He did such a good job in the opening 20 minutes of this race. He was the commanding force of this race, unfortunately.
Yeah, for sure. It'd be interesting to find out if he's anywhere around Jono Freeman's locality, if that storm's also playing havoc. But yeah, Forza Elnabi, he's out of the car, folks, and retired. And it looks like we may have also lost Luke Lucas in the number 80. He's just blipped off our screen as well. And actually, quite a few of them are now starting to blip off the screen.
Lots of storms on the east coast of Australia this afternoon, Bernie. It's pretty unfortunate, but some internet connectivity can be affected by electrical storms, unfortunately.
Yeah, so since we gave you the update last time, folks, on the retirements, I'll go through them all now. Looks like Luke Lucas in the number 80 is in a bit of trouble out there. He's blinking on and off. Brendan Hack also flashing on our server at the moment. Forzan Elnabi, as we said, is retired. The other people, Matthew Belton, still circulating one lap down in 31st. We've also lost Griffin Gardner in the 222, Cameron Kendall in the 35, Zach Radatz, he's still in the car but not circulating, and of course Jono Freeman. So yeah, a lot of dropouts here all of a sudden tonight.
Race Control did mention earlier that Zach Radatz was actually having a bit of connection issues with blipping and blinking as well. So yeah, definitely the story of the race, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's a definite theme, isn't it? We can see now Tommy Harradine in 15th. He's battling against Scotty Harris here. Both cars have the same amount of damage on the front. Could almost call them twins as he comes it down the inside. And the 161, Scotty Harris, pretty much lets him get through. The car right behind him, though, folks, that's Richard Brookfield. Looks like he might have just had a spin.
Yeah, that was pretty good awareness from Richard. Richard was just trying to get back on the track and he saw them coming and got out of their way. So really good awareness from Richard there.
Yeah, so having a look at that, folks, and then we'll see what other action we can find. Yeah, it's one of those things. He just basically locked it up coming down into turn 10 then from Lukey Heights.
Super easy to do. These cars run a lot of rear brake bias. So if you do a bit of a weird gear change, sometimes you can either grab the front or the rear brake. It's really easy to do.
Yeah, and for the fans out there, we'll go through from 20 down to 30. So we've got Jeffrey Price at the moment sitting in 21st, Will Barrington 22nd. At the moment, Mick Wilson is got a very beaten up kickstart for kids Porsche there, the learner plate on the back, in 23rd. Kirk Hustwit, hope I pronounced that right, sitting in 24th at the moment. Then we've got Mark Turner in 25th, 26th, Laseth Linage. And then we've got Stephen Apps, 27th, 28th, Sam Deventia, still up 10 positions from where he started. Has to be one of the biggest movers of the field tonight. Then we've got Isaac Edwards, up 5 positions in 29th. And then rounding out your top 30 is Matthew Belton, 1 lap down, sitting in 30th.
Props to Matthew Belton. He could have quite easily have said, nah, I've had a opening lap accident, I'm not going to continue, but he's stuck it out there, so good on him.
Yeah, it's excellent to see him out there, and it's props to him, because a lot of guys would just park it and walk away, but I still believe anyone can drive a car when things are going well, but it takes someone with a bit of fortitude to actually see a race through when it falls apart in the first couple of laps.
Yep, 100% agree, Bernie. So, yeah, full respect to him.
And the other thing that's also good when you've got a car that's beaten up is these guys are going to get valuable mileage in a car that's not set up perfectly, which, when you get into the longer races can make a massive difference to where that car finishes at the end of the day.
Yeah, well, to finish first you must finish, and every point is valuable across a season. So, yeah, you just got to stick it out to the end, definitely.
Yeah, we just about saw Shannon Mason there join the Australian version of the Wall of Champions. We saw him in qualifying doing that, and he had it out sideways again, but fortunately he gathered it up.
That exit curve on the exit of the last turn here at Phillip Island just sucks you out. Every time you get on it, it just keeps pulling you to the outside. So, and then it spits you back on the wall on the inside. So he's done really well to recover that.
Yeah, he certainly has. And tell you what, folks, we've got 3 minutes of this race to finish, but don't go away tonight, because at 9:45 p.m. it'll be on in a different room. It'll come up on iRacing Live or our YouTube channel, as well as Twitch and Facebook. But we've got the feature race. That's the Australian Online Supercar Championship, coming to you live next at Phillip Island, and that's going to be an exciting race.
Oh yes, Phillip Island V8 supercars. It's a great recipe for some great racing. Much the same as the Porsches. They offer exciting close proximity racing, a V8 noise. What more could you want? Yeah,
that's why these two classes go so well together, and it's so great having the Porsche Carrera Cup. It's a championship in their own right, but they come here as a support race to the AOSC, and it's just to just adds that extra flavour to a race night, doesn't it? Having the structure of having two classes, both featured, both telecasted, it's fantastic professionalism. Yeah, it's awesome. But speaking about professionalism at the moment, Josh Anderson, well, he's out there pretty much circulating in the lead. 6.7 seconds is the gap. He's got 1:53 until the white flag will come out. I'll tell you what, he probably thought he was going to have to fight to the end for this win, and taking nothing away from him, but that Forzan El Nabi's internet probably made it a bit easier for him tonight. Yeah, it took a little bit away from the spectacle of the end of the race. I'm sure we would have had some kitchen sinks being thrown around at each other there, but I'm sure he's relieved as well. So he's done an absolutely fantastic race. He's got the fastest lap of the race by some margin. He in the last half of this race has been very, very commanding. Yeah, and we just had news. Forzan El Nabi's also retired, and Sam Deventia, one of the biggest movers, he's also parked the car. We've actually gone to his pit team to find out exactly what's gone on with that car, and as soon as we know, folks, we'll bring you that. But that's a bitter blow there for the number 95.
he was circulating great. He'd made up a lot of places. I'm sure he'll be somewhat disappointed. I think he was making good progress.
I was making awesome progress. Yeah, so basically he's had a driver error there and basically had an off-track and collected the wall. So we'll see if we can find that, folks. Looks like I've got it here. Well, he's had... we'll jump back to this one and see if we've got him here. So we'll go back to the West End Mazda replay here, folks, and see if we can work out exactly what's happened to Sam here. Let us know when we come up to the last lap, mate, and we'll cut away from the replay.
Yeah, I think the leader's just approaching the main straight now. So I think they'll be taking the checkered flag.
They're going to take the checkered flag now, are they?
Yes, I believe.
There you go. Checkered flag to Josh Anderson. Takes the win tonight, round 3 of Phillip Island. And, yeah, that was a great win there. 7 seconds was the gap. Dylan Shepherd settled for second. Third home tonight is Cameron Dance, and he'll be very happy with that. Scott Lanark, he got back up to 4th, and bittersweet for him. 5th was Michael Healy. Working our way down through the field, Connor McCluskey-Young comes home in 6th position. The rest of the field goes through. I heard a bang back there. I'm not sure if anyone's collected the wall or not.
Even that last lap, Tom Curran lost a couple of places there. He was further up ahead of Shannon Mason, and he's lost a couple of spots. So I'm not really sure what happened there, but it was maybe around the Honda corner sort of section, I think. But yeah, that might have been the bang, maybe.
Okay, he's out of the car. Just having a look here. Okay, let's go back and see if we can work out what happened to Sam here very quickly. And then we'll go very quickly to have a look at our... Yeah, he's basically in the pits, so... So, folks, I hope you've enjoyed that, the round 3 here of the Porsche Carrera Cup. We're going to quickly go through the full results here, and then I'm going to have to jump out to get the next race sorted. But let's have a look at the final positions here tonight. So Josh Anderson, he takes a win. He led 8 laps of tonight's race and up 1 position. Dylan Shepherd comes home in 2nd, Cameron Dance 3rd. Home in 4th tonight was Scott Lanark. Then we've got Michael Healy down 1 position to finish in 5th. Connor McCluskey-Young, he finishes in 6th position, with Thomas Hinds up 6 positions to come home in 7th. Out of 8th tonight is Shannon Mason, followed by the 888 of Richard Skender. Tom Curran, he comes home in 10th in the 911. Dropped 5 positions. JC Richards comes home in 11th. 12th tonight, James E. Foster. 13th was Scotty Harris, up 5 positions. Then Richard Brookfield, he finished 14th and up 5. Luke Lucas up 9 positions to come home in 15th. 16th, Tommy Harradine. 17th, Michael Hammond. 18th was Brendan Hack. David Mulhall, we didn't see any of him tonight, but he is up 12 positions to come home in 19th. Then Will Barrington, 20th. 21st tonight, Jeffrey Price and Chris Dawson, 22nd. Mark Turner, up 10 positions. He comes home in 23rd. 24th was Kirk Hustvit. Home in 25th is Stephen Apps, followed by Lasith Leonage in 26th. Isaac Edwards comes home in 27th, with Matthew Belton finishing in 28th. Finishing in 29th tonight was Mick Wilson, and then Sam Devantier classified in 30th, up 8 positions. Fazan El Nabi classified in 31st, now we're in our retirements. Griffin Gardner classified 32nd, 33rd, Cameron Kendall, Zach Radatz 34th. Jono Freeman is the last of our finishers in 35th position. So David Mulhall gets the biggest mover award tonight, fastest lap, folks. That went to our race winner, Joshua Anderson, and that was a time of 1:29.920.
Yeah, really good pace. Very close to the pole time that Farzan El Nabi did. So very impressive of the race field to be able to do those sorts of lap times.
Yeah, it certainly is, and it's been a pretty eventful race, that's for sure. But I guess we're going to have to go to a very quick interview with Dylan Shepherd, and then we're probably going to have to jump out of the broadcast so I can get the AOSC ready, and we'll go from there. Hi Dylan, welcome to the RRTV Combox, mate. It looks like you're classified second tonight, so congratulations.
Yeah, thanks guys. Didn't expect to be there on lap one, but yeah, thanks to the unfortunate dropout from Force One, I suppose I'll have to take it.
Yeah, it looked like a few people were having internet-related issues out there tonight. A lot of people blinking in and out at the same time when Forzen dropped out. We've lost about another 4 guys, so I wonder if that's related.
Yeah, you never know with iRacing. There's always server issues, I suppose.
Yeah, so I guess, once Forzen dropped out, I guess you'd probably pretty much given up on trying to catch Joshua.
Yeah, Josh just had, and Forsman as well, they both had ridiculous pace. I just could not match tonight. I think it was long before he dropped out, I'd pretty much given up. I was just managing the gap to the cars behind. But yeah, them guys were just out in their own world. I was, pretty happy just to take third. But yeah, it's good that, well, not good, it's unfortunate that Forsman dropped out. But yeah, it's another win for the team, and yeah, good one for Josh.
Yeah, fantastic. Before we let you go, Dylan, did you want to give a shout out to your sponsors?
Yeah, I'll give a quick shout out to the team at One Performance Racing and Positive Sim Racing. Both teams look after us well. Sponsors Fast Carts Racing Developments and Isabel University. All the help and support everyone gives us. Thanks, guys, and thanks to you guys for doing the broadcast week in, week out. You do a terrific job.
No worries, thanks, buddy. See you later.
Thanks, mate.
Okay, our final interview tonight is with Josh Anderson, our race winner. Did you want to have an interview with Josh, Adam?
Yeah, sure. Josh, congratulations on the great win there. You had some fantastic pace. I think we setting the fastest lap of the race. Did you think you could have a go at Forwan before he dropped out?
Yeah, I did. I was sort of, because of the aero push is so bad in this car at Phillip Island, a long track with long sweeping corners, it was really hard to get up on the back of him. And then about 2 laps before he sadly disconnected, I was getting right up within about 3 or 4 tenths, and that's when you start to have a go. And I think about 2 corners before he disconnected, I had a bit of a go. So I was pretty disappointed, to be honest. It would have been a good race.
Yeah, we feel that it would have got really interesting towards the end of the race. You had fantastic pace, and from there, I guess your race was a lot simpler, managing the gap back to Dylan Shepherd. So it must have been a bit of a relief, maybe, potentially.
To be honest, I was pretty disappointed. Like, I sort of struggle focusing when I'm on my own. So I thought I was pretty focused. I was settling down into a nice rhythm, just following Fallon, because obviously, like at the last corner, for example, because it's such a long corner, it's really hard when you're behind someone to, because of the aero push. So it was just following around. It was pretty good racing. And then when he went off, I just sort of settled into a pretty awful rhythm. It was pretty inconsistent. So I was counting down the clock, really.
Yeah, you did a fantastic job towards the end of the race. You maintained and extended a gap to Dylan Shepherd. So congratulations on the win. It's a 1-2 for your team. And do you want to say anything with regards to your sponsors or supporters?
Yeah, obviously, being OPR 1-2, great result. I want to thank the sponsors, Dylan Shepherd Race Engines. A few other guys that have really supported us. We worked hard in the Porsche for the last round. I think we're sitting pretty in the overall championship, so it's a pretty good result, really.
Once again, congratulations, Josh. You did a fantastic job tonight. Well-earned win, and have a great evening.
Thanks, Matt. You too.
Yeah, folks, that was our race winner tonight, Josh Anderson, and he sounded very happy with that result, that's for sure. Of course, you're going to be happy if you take the win.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably you could tell it was disappointing for him not to have that, not to have that battle with Forzan, but you could tell that he was also very, very chuffed with the result as well.
Yeah, definitely, and sounds like a lot of people enjoyed that race. But anyway, Adam, thanks, mate, for joining us for this broadcast. It's been great having you in the comm box, and hopefully you've enjoyed your stay with us tonight.
Certainly have, Bernie, as always. Thank you for having me.
Fantastic, folks, and that brings us to the end of our coverage for the Porsche Carrera Cup. But don't go away. 15 minutes time in the other scheduled broadcast for RRTV. We'll be covering the Australian Online Supercar Championship. If you're not sure where to find that, you can go to our YouTube page, youtube.com/RRTV Live, or our Facebook page, and you'll find them both there. If you're coming to us from iRacing Live, that race will be featured up next. So thanks everyone for joining us. We're going to have a very quick break, reset everything, and come back here in 15 minutes for the AOSC. On behalf of Adam Briggs, I'm Bernie Weemus. Thanks for watching us, and catch you very shortly.